Hello, great to see you once again. Welcome back to the Kenya Times. It's always a pleasure joining you in these conversations. Conversations that not only shapes our governance system, but also the political landscape. Today we are going to discuss about youth in leadership. And to help me unpack this conversation is none other than Ken Babu. Ken Babu is the chairman of the United Youth Opposition. He's right here in studio. We are going to discuss so much concerning the youth in leadership. I'm your host, Nickson Njau, and follow us throughout this conversation. Ken Babu, welcome to the Kenya Times.
Thank you so much, Bwana Nickson. It's glad to be here, and I feel so much welcomed, and I believe that we're going to have a conversation that can shape the future of this country.
Indeed.
As far as young people, leadership, and politics is concerned. Yeah.
And just before we dive into our conversation today, a week ago, we saw you in Germany, trying to meet various leaders, young leaders there. What was the aim of the tour?
Well, I was supposed to be in Germany for 3 weeks, and then I was scheduled to have some meetings also in Belgium for a week before I come back to the country. But I was able to be in Germany for just 2 weeks, and that happened because while in Germany, I could see news coming from this country, my motherland, which were not impressive. And at that time, also the opposition chief, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, was in the US. And I felt like the opposition was somehow getting down. The energy was not there. So I felt like if Rigathi is outside, and I'm also outside as the opposition youth chair, then the energy was now missing. I had to work to squeeze my program and finish up my engagements within 2 weeks and fly back to the country to blend up with the energy of Rigathi Gachagua and other opposition leaders, so that we can ensure that we deal with Kasongo appropriately, decisively, to ensure to deliver one-term promise. In Germany, I was there for exchange programs where I had to meet. I had meetings with young leaders in Germany, different political parties, different stakeholders, different organizations and partners who are so much interested in pushing the youth agenda. And a lot is in the plate, which I'll share with, of course, my people in the opposition wing. And of course, the young people are interested to partake on the wisdom. With which I came with.
Yeah, and
but of importance is I had to cut short my trip. And the major reason was to come back and address critical issues that are happening in this country. While in Germany, President Ruto is on record having proclaimed that there is too much corruption in parliament, and many young members of parliament were running left, right like headless chicken.
And before we go there, Ken Babu, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
You were in Germany, and you have just explained. You cut short your trip, you know, and you met various young leaders there.
Sure.
What is the difference that you see between Germany and Kenya in terms of youth in leadership?
Well, in Germany, Germany, the youth are the minority. The median age in Germany is around 55. And the young people, as few as they are really pushing themselves. They are doing a much to take up the leadership position. In fact, in German parliament, there are only 18 people below the age of 35. And in Kenya, we have around 60. But of importance that I picked on that side is the youth leadership is taken seriously. And in fact, being a youth leader in Germany is a full-time job with employment, with payment and everything. So that is something that good packages, so that a youth leader can move around and ensure that the programs are working and everything is in stock. So I think that's something I picked, and I would also invite my party leaders and political players in Kenya to adopt that, so that they empower their youth leaders, so that these young people in leadership position can also have the capacity to move around and ensure that they push different projects and engagements with young people.
What are the different things they do that in Kenya we don't do?
The center of difference is how they pick up issues. In Germany, there's no protest. Protest is not their thing. They deal with policy issues with the person relevant to that. If the chancellor is not doing what she should do, the chancellor avails themselves or himself or herself and sits down with the youth and they discuss that. Something that we cannot do in this country. The president is always running left, right, trying to escape real issues. So the youth in Germany are so much committed to address concerns that might affect their future. And that's something we're also doing here. Unfortunately, on this side, we are doing it, but we are not getting enough support from the elderly. And that's why I think I'm still convinced that there's an urgent need of our leaders to pick the aspect of having youth leaders fully empowered to do their responsibilities and to engage with their fellow young people. Because anyway, the challenges that young people are facing, I can address and listen to them, understand better than an old person can do. So that is what's happening in Germany.
Okay.
The youth have been given that space to do that, collect different thoughts, and participate with their colleagues and submit the reports.
All right. And you are the chairman of the United Youth Opposition.
Yeah.
What is this movement all about? Many are not getting it well.
The United Opposition Youth Wing is the youth wing of the entire opposition, which has got many political parties, including DCP, DAPK, Wiper, DP of Muturi, PLP, together. All those parties put together forms the United Opposition. And there is a segment of principals, and there's that segment of young people, which I sit as the chairperson. And our responsibilities are clear. We deal with critical issues around the youth. We sieve issues that touch on the youth, affect the youth engagement, and we submit that to the leadership, the principals, for proper understanding and find a level ground of how to deal with them. But again, we also step in and offer criticism to the government of the day when they are messing up with the issues or areas that affect the young people directly. Like recently, we saw the academic university funding. We saw issues around SHA, which is directly affecting the young people as well. Those are some of our roles, and that's why you keep seeing me coming out with too much bile and agitation when the president is trying to mess up with sectors that directly affect the young people. Yeah.
And maybe how many members do you have? Maybe
in the United Opposition Youth Wing.
Yes,
we have many members. We have millions of young people. Anybody who is not in support of this regime is in the opposition. And the young people, the Gen Zs, the youth are saying that, guys, we need to put this government at check. And all those are members. You see, many young people are saying that they are not, to some extent, the youth are not enticed to join political parties, which we are trying to work on it to ensure that we get as many young people as possible in political parties. In fact, I tell the youth that the easiest route to take power, get to a political party.
And be a member.
Be a member of a political party and agitate and push your agendas from inside. Get that? You will easily get to power and put into changes that you want to put in place. So young people are outside there. Many are members of the opposition youth wing, but they are yet to be convinced to join political party because they are also scouting and saying, okay, I want to join DCP, I want to join DAP, I want to join PLP, but I'm still trying to weigh in and see where can I fit in. Which seat can I take when I come in? Those are spaces that they are exploring, but the point is we are working closely with the generation, our generation, to ensure that as many young people as possible joins political parties so that we can have a conversation within the structures of the parties.
But you have also talked about, youth joining various, political seats, political parties, sorry. And there are still youths who feel that even joining the political parties, there are those leaders in those parties who are legacy politicians who don't understand them. Yeah. What do you have to say on that?
You see, one thing I've told my generation, and I keep saying, is we are going to engage in this politics going forward as stakeholders. In the setup of stakeholders, you come on the table and agree on how you are going to engage. You collaborate. Because we need these old guys. You see, politics is money, power, and resources. We have the energy and time to do many things, but we don't have that financial capacity to push that agenda.
And resources.
And now see the old guys are coming with that. And that's why I say, and I tell these leaders, the ones you are calling legacy politicians, that we have to engage as stakeholders we have to be stakeholders in this thing. We have to collaborate so that you don't appear like you are taking the lead and you are leaving us behind, or we are taking the lead and leaving you behind. You need us, we need you. We sit down, we agree.
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership. We are going to do a partnership. So we say, okay, you're coming with the resources, we come with this energy, time, and we put together and we push an agenda. Like in the opposition right now, we are working closely with the young people. The entire opposition, we are working closely with the youth, because we have agreed that taking Kasongo home needs a joint effort. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, and Kalonzo Musyoka alone cannot take the president home. They must accommodate the energy of the youth. And that's why you've seen His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua before, and even the other party leaders pushing the agenda and inviting more young people to join political parties and to work with the opposition jointly. It's a stakeholder partnership. Get that? That is the way out.
And before we even continue, there's rumors that was spreading up, on socials that Ken Babu joined the government. That was a few weeks ago during the Empowerment Forum.
Yes.
That was conducted in State House. Yes. What do you have to say?
But it's always good. That's why it's always good for people to have their field day. Kenya Kwanza regime has been on my neck, and it will be their wish and in their dreams that I cross the floor, the other side. But the question is, what are they offering the people? Nothing. So what will they offer me? Nothing. So as of now, we are committed to ensure that we take them away and iron out the problems they've caused the country. In fact, Kenya Kwanza regime has caused this nation more problems that what was caused with Moi, Kibaki, and Uhuru combined. And they have been power for only 3 years. 3 years, they have interfered with the education system. They have interfered with the health system. They have interfered with the taxation. Just 3 years. So if you talk about joining them, then it means you are also crashing your entire lifestyle. So yeah, those are rumors that I saw. I also saw them on social media, and I issued a statement on the same. Fortunately, on that very day they were saying I was in State House, I was somewhere in Kitui, celebrating my good friend Bernard Kavuli upon his graduation from MKU. So those are politics, and we as politicians, we accept them, and we move on.
Why can't you join the government and sort the problem that you are talking?
You see, each and every government is elected to deliver to the people. I have never believed in Kenya Kwanza regime from the onset. So there's nothing that can change right now for me to join. These 2 years alone cannot make me go cross the floor to help them sort out their mess. They've already crossed the red line in terms of destruction of economy, police brutality, we saw that, extrajudicial killings, we saw that. They've done a lot that needs a new system to wipe away. And that's why we are committed. We are saying that we need a new house for Kenyans now to come in.
We need a new system.
We need a new system.
But as you say that, there's also people who say, if we need a new system, especially the Gen Z, if we need a new system, we need a new leadership, then we have to scratch away the legacy politicians. What do you have to say?
You see that
the legacy politicians, including Rigathi Gachagua, the old generation.
It takes me back to what I had said earlier on about collaboration and stakeholder engagement. Rigathi Gachagua has not said that he wants to be a president. I have not said that I want to be a president. Why would people feel like if I said I want to be a president, Rigathi Gachagua will not allow me to be a president? If by age I qualify to be to run for presidents, and I say, okay, guys, in the opposition coalition, I am also throwing myself into the field as the Gen Z candidate. You get that? Those are avenues that are open. Up to now, we have not set on a candidate. So that candidate might also be me. And I'm supported by the old guys that, as people are saying, that they want to do away with. And I alluded earlier on that we have to collaborate. So in that context, I'll be the candidate and we will collaborate and we move on. But what I'm saying is this. We cannot say that we want to wash away all these guys. The clear point is, even as we change the system, you change it progressively. See that? If you want to take away the legacy politicians, there must be a replacement. And that replacement comes in progressively. You've seen Kenya Moja coalition, something like that. They are also running around saying that they are the alternative, but they have not said they want president. So nobody has come out that they want presidency and they have been denied. So until they communicate, then we can now say, okay, the wazee wanatutaki ama wazee wanatutaka.
Yes.
But until now, up to now, the young people are with those guys.
And now we are talking about youth and leadership, and there is something, you know, a very big problem, a challenge. That is a financial challenge. Many youths are very willing to, you know, vie for these elective seats, even MCA, MP, senator, gubernatorial seats. But the pocket is not willing. They are very willing, but the pocket is not willing. What should these youths do?
You know, Kenyan politics have been so expensive. In fact, Kenyan politics is the most expensive politics possibly in Africa. Very expensive. But now you see the problem. We have something called the Campaign Financing Act, which is supposed to be put into place. But until now, it has not been put into place. And the biggest barrier to it is members of parliament, because they know this act put into action will bar them from doing their wash business. I told you, parliament as it is right now is a crime scene. It is a crime scene. I know we'll discuss that on the issue of corruption, but that's a crime scene, and everybody who is there, save for some few, should be arrested and taken to committee. So that Campaign Finance Act, if not implemented, it makes elections so expensive for an average person to even win. In fact, to lose an MP seat in Kenya, you have to have a budget of around 20 million to lose an election.
20 million? To
lose an election.
What about winning?
Winning is now, that's a different case. That's a different conversation all around. Okay. But for you to be sure you will lose this election, you will have to spend close to 20 million. Elections have been made so expensive to deter or to bar some people from contesting. But still, we have evidences, we have testaments of people who ran on low budgets and they won elections. And in 2027, the agenda, you see, let me tell you, as of today, these expensive elections were happening before. As of today, people are waking up, and the voters knows what they want. In fact, anybody who's in parliament right now, coming with the mindset of I'll give you money and you vote me, people will take the money. But in the back end, they know how they cast their vote, and it might not be in your favor. So what's happening right now is people are well enlightened, and civic engagements are going on. Civic education has taken course, and people are getting the information, how to vote, who to vote, and on what basis. And 2027, I'm telling you, many young people are going to come up.
It will be a surprise.
With very few budgets, and they will win elections. And the wash guys who have dominated parliament today will be kept aside because they've converted an honorable house into a crime scene.
We'll come to that. So, will we reach to a position where now Kenyans will listen to the person himself than to follow the money?
We're heading there. We are heading there.
Because
in fact, just before you come in, let me tell you, sometimes I sit down and tend to think that it was God's will for Ruto to be president so that we can get to understand what bad governance can do, what poor leadership can do, what leaders who come to power through too much popularity can do to derogate the functionality of the country. And today people are waking up. People knows that if you elect based on money, if you elect based on popularity, without clear vision, you stand a chance to suffer for 5 years. So right now, people are, and I'm telling you, I've been to the ground. And I engage with these guys. Guys are saying that we have to sanitize one by one and look into. In fact, we are heading, let me tell you, I was in Germany, and I was surprised that in Germany, popular people are not elected.
Okay.
In fact, people who are popular, being too popular
is not
is a threat to service delivery.
It's not an advantage.
It's not an advantage. People are focused on agenda, character. Character. In fact, they do background check. Where were you born and how have you lived? How the background check. Because that is who you are. Pana hapa yenye mtu anatoka kwa kichaka huko, then you just become an MP or a governor. No. On that side, they do proper background check and they ensure that they settle on somebody whose integrity issues are clear, who is transparent, who is committed to service delivery. And that's where we are heading to. This civic education that you see going on around the country will bear that fruit, where leaders will be vetted based on their integrity, history, transparency, accountability. level of responsibility. Get that? And respect to the law. So that when you are elected, you are not just elected because of the money.
But
you are elected because you want to deliver services.
But at the same time, there are people who are from rural, you know. These people have been educated majorly from the urban setups, but the majority of people from the rural don't understand these things. An MP will come from Nairobi, go back to the village once a week, give them money, and they say, huyu ni mtu wetu, we'll go with him. The same other person comes with his agenda. They don't give money. Maybe the guy has no money. But the people in the rural are not still educated much.
Let me tell you.
What do you have to say on that?
Me, I come from a rural constituency in Kisumu Town West, popularly known as Kisumu West constituency. That is my constituency, and I visit that constituency regularly. Let me tell you, people are enlightened. Mama Mbogas are enlightened. Mudwa Boda is enlightened. Even the Mboga himself or Mboga herself is enlightened. Right now, if you go to the villages and start the politics of money, dishing, without proper agenda, they've come to realization that 1,000 shilling cannot sustain you for 5 years. And they've realized that a branded t-shirt, just written somebody's name, you cannot wear that t-shirt for 5 years. And people are asking, where is the market? Where are the roads? Where is water? Where is, dispensaries? These are the things we want to see. If you cannot deliver these little things, then we have no business to do with you. You know that? Because we have constituencies, in rural, we have rural constituencies where somebody has served for more than 15 years, and there's nothing they can show for it. They live in Nairobi, they do what you're saying. They come over the weekends, attend funerals, and disappear. Today, the conversation that is going on there is different. In fact, personally, me, when I go to the ground, what I tell people, when I visit my area, I'm not visiting for any interest, but I have to visit that place because they know I'm here, and I'm a representation of that village because that's where I come from. So whenever I go there, they give me a platform to say something. And my message is always clear. Properly vet your MPs, your MCS, and your senators. Because these are people who have an advantage of life. They live in areas where water is sufficient, electricity is there. If they get sick, they can be flown out of the country. The question is, how far is a dispensary from where you are living? How far is a water point from where you are living? How far does your children trek to go to school? And what is the condition of those classes? If those things do not satisfy you, this is a replication of whoever you elected. Because that is the responsibility. So you vote against that. That is the conversion I'm giving in the ground. And people are buying it. Because they can look at it and say, honestly, we have our sons and daughters who have graduated and they don't have jobs. Our sons and daughters are dying in roads, accidents, riding boda.
It makes sense to them.
It makes more sense to that woman in the market who runs left, right with her sales, with her goodies when it rains. Because an MP or a woman rep ate the money meant for that market constructions. You see, you bring it home. May I bring it home? Because when I go there, I tell them, I have a conversation with them and ask them questions. Me, I don't stay here. I visit this village because this is where, in the event that I die, you are the people who will dig my grave. So I have to give you knowledge. I've had an advantage of getting it. Question is, if today there is insecurity crisis here, who is going to suffer the most? Myself or yourself? They say themselves because they stay there full time. If it happens that there is drought in that area and there are no boreholes that have been dug by CDF or something, who is going to be affected the most? It is them because they stay there full time. In fact, 90% of their lives they are there. Unemployment, insecurities in those areas as a result of their unemployed youth who lives there. And they are unemployed despite the fact that they are educated. And the opportunities that are there, the members of parliament are colluding with the leadership on the ministries and taking their sons and daughters to abroad. So the question is, if that dispensary does not have medication, who is suffering? Is it the MP? No. Who? Myself. If that school does not have proper classrooms, whose child is going to be affected? Is it the MP's child or your child? My child. If there's insecurity here, whose door is going to be broken down? Is it the MP's door or your door? My door. So when you are going to the ballot, analyze all those situations. and look at the manifesto. Vis-a-vis their 1,000 shillings and cast your vote rightfully. Because after 5 years, the long run of 5 years, you are going to reap what you sow at the polling station.
During the ballot.
During the ballot. So today,
Okay.
people are waking up.
Yes.
People are waking up.
Okay. And so let's talk now about the current situation in the country. We have a week, after the president, had a PG meeting together with the parliamentarians.
Yeah.
And he told them that stop corruption. You guys are taking a lot of money from the executive. What do you have to say?
First, for the first time, I agree with President Ruto. For the first time, the president got it right. It takes a thief to catch a thief. And for the first time, he spoke the truth that indeed there is corruption. And what he was saying is just saying that, guys, I acknowledge that I am corrupt, but you guys are getting more corrupt than me. That was a communication. That was a communication.
But he never acknowledged. He was now claiming that MPs are taking money from the executive.
They are taking much from the executive. Who is the executive? He's the head of the executive. So they are taking from who? Because you cannot just take money randomly. You are taking from who? From the president. So the president, that's an acknowledgement statement that, guys, I agree that we are eating this country, but you are taking too much. You see, let me tell you. From what the president said, it is clear that parliaments are crime scene, and the corruption that is happening in that house is too much. You know that? To an extent that the propagator of the corruption deals is now getting uncomfortable to continue propagating. And is given too much to an extent that he's also feeling uncomfortable giving anymore. You know that? That's the level of it. But let me ask you, if when Rigathi Gachagua, His Excellency, and Justin Muturi said that there is too much rot between the executive and the parliament, some faction of MPs came out fire blazing, saying that, oh, these people are inciting Kenyans against members of parliament. These people are inciting Kenyans against President Ruto because Ruto is not a Mulima guy or something. They turned it down into a tribal issue. But let me tell you, these two gentlemen were right, and time is proving that they were right. If the president can come out and say that members of parliament are corrupt, then it means he has been dealing with them in that sequence for a long time. And Rigathi Gachagua is the biggest victim of the corruption that happens in parliament. And Kenyans at large are victims. Denzel Omondi, Albert Ojwang, Rex Masai, they died because of corruption that happens in parliament. When members of parliament agreed to exchange money in parliament toilets to vote for finance bill. Okay. Kenyans are victims of those, dubious means, dubious deals.
Do they exchange money in toilets?
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. And if you look at the expose that was done by the Standard, or those were subgroups, and I posted one today, where one Mheshimiwa is saying that we have to convene a parliamentary group meeting and know who is with us and who is not with us. We have to establish who is with us and who is not, because the president cannot be giving you projects and financing your projects, and then you go and vote no. What is that communication? It is not within the powers of the president to select a few and give projects and finance their projects. That is corruption we're talking about.
And is that level that we are now as a country?
That is where President Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza regime has put us. And that's why we are saying that these guys must be one term, all of them. For this country to get proper energy, for this country to be restored to where it was, for this country to be sanitized, President William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza affiliate MPs must step aside.
And do you think when it comes to corruption in parliament, it is a very serious issue for the future generation?
Sir?
Do you think it is something that is a system? They found it there and it needs to be scratched away?
Corruption is personal. Corruption cannot blame it on system. It is personal decision. If President was saying that, are you aware that one of you here collected money? Did you get the money? And members of parliament shouting like class 1 children, no, we didn't get the money. To me, they wanted the money. Their only pain is they did not get the money. The president's pain is the money left his pocket and did not reach the intended receiver. So the two teams have been participating actively in dubious and corrupt deals. And now the giver feels like you took the money and you did not deliver. And the person who was supposed to get the money is also feeling like you took the money out and we didn't get it. So it is their own internal clashes. That's why when I see some MPs running left, right, like headless chicken, shouting and cautioning the president, they are doing that because the president is now exposing what they've been doing as a team. Get that? But all said and done, the president has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he has been propagating corruption from the executive.
But he spoke out.
If he's speaking out, it's okay. But he's speaking out when it's too late. He ought to have told us this thing during the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. He ought to have told us this thing during the finance bill. Because if somebody, when that Mheshimiwa said that a president gives you a project and finances your project and you still go and vote no. This no was either it was either a no for impeachment or a no for finance bill. As a member of parliament elected, whose interest should be representing? The people.
The people.
If your people are saying, do not vote yes or do not vote no, why do you have to consult with the president and twist him to give you projects for you to vote? And the president, because it is his interest being served, he reluctantly issues projects and instructs you to vote no or vote yes, whichever way he wants, favors him. So what we are saying is, from the president's call out to corruption, it's an indication that the guy feels like he has been drained and now he wants support from Kenyans to help him fight it. If he's serious about fighting corruption, CS of Health, Aden Duale, and the CEO of SHA ought to have been by now sacked and heading to Kawa locals.
And talking on that, there's also a story about the SHA scandal. It is claimed that, the chair getting more money than even the Kenyatta National Hospital. But now Aden Duale is saying the chairman is not the head of the hospital. Stop what you're saying. Now he's telling Kenyans. So what do you have to say?
It's not Kenyans who are saying. These are things that are on record. We are not the ones who generates the allocation list of SHA. I mean, Nickson, you are not the one who generated that list. It was generated by the system. And the system clearly indicates that Ladam Hospital, which is associated with the CEO, the chairperson of SHA, received that money. And he's not that the chairperson, co-founder. Even if he resigns as a chairperson, does not deprive him the rights of being a co-founder of that thing. So still, up to that point, it propagates the conflict of interest. Unfortunately and sadly and shamelessly, the CS was addressing that issue and the chairperson was seated next to him. And he was confidently, in the eyes of public, telling us that the chairperson is not involved. Let me tell you, Nickson, we are living in a country that leaders have got no respect to the citizens who put them to power. If President Ruto, and I repeat, if President Ruto is serious about the fight against corruption, and he wants to put it to end, as we talk right now, the CS of Health, the CEO of SHA, and the chairperson of SHA, the three of them, ought to have been sacked and headed to Kawa locals to be charged. Because these are monies that have disappeared. They cannot explain how these monies got allocated. There's an hospital in Homa Bay called Nyandiwa, which was allocated millions of money. At the time of allocation, the hospital was not even functional. Recently, they were now clearing bushes and trying to make it look favorable. To make sense. Those are criminal activities. At the same time, in a country where Kenyans cannot get quality, timely service, health services, Kenyans cannot even paying for the SHA. It's a struggle on its own. And then somebody sits somewhere, collects millions of money, and then they transfer to their hospitals, which again goes around, comes back to their pockets, and then you sit in a broad daylight in cameras and defend them. Look at that. That's criminal.
And
that's criminal. The CS for health should step aside. The CEO of SHA, Mahasi Mwangangi, should step aside. The chairperson of SHA should step aside for proper investigation. So that we know that the president is serious about fighting against corruption. Yeah.
And as we conclude on matters now of the political realignments, you know, around the country, within the political space in the country, we have seen, you know, Rigathi Gachagua together with Kalonzo Musyoka, and the entire, you know, team of opposition, including Eugene Wamalwa and others. They are claiming to form a huge movement ahead of 2027 to host President William Ruto. Do you think they will manage?
They are not claiming, they are forming. They are not claiming to form, they are forming a huge movement to take one President William Ruto home, away from power. Because he has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he cannot manage a country in a way that people would prefer.
Just to cut you short, there's those people who say removing a president, especially political analysts, they have said this several times. Removing a sitting president from office is not an easy task. Do you think it is possible for Kenya?
Trump happened to be the president of one of the superpowers nations, and he served one term. He had to come back again.
But we are Kenya,
Africa. What is Kenya, man? What is Kenya? 60 years old. 60, a small baby with an healed umbilical cord. What are you talking about, my friend? What are you talking about?
Okay.
What are you talking about? Democracy supersedes anything. And checking President Ruto is not as a difficult task as people try to put it. In fact, those analysts, if you look at them, the analysts that are trying to give us a picture of taking Ruto home is difficult. Those are state-sponsored analysts who are trying to instill fear in Kenya so that people get comfortable with the fact that removing a president is very difficult. It is easy. So long as he is not doing what people elected him to do, he can easily go home at the ballot. And as it stands right now, the only person that can save William Ruto from going home is God.
Not Raila Odinga?
No. What are you talking about? Why can't he make himself president then? If he has the power to make others president. What are you talking about? At this point, Kenyans have decided. You see, let me tell you. Ruto defeated Raila with 200,000 votes.
Sure.
To make him president. 200,000 votes in Luo Nyanza. Over 700,000 votes were not casted. And Raila was in the ballot. What makes you think that if Raila is not in the ballot and Ruto is the ballot, those people will wake up and go and vote for Ruto? They cannot. There is no motivation to even cast a vote.
But we have seen projects, you know, the government directing projects in Luo Nyanza,
yeah, it's okay.
Including Homa Bay, Kisumu, and other parts of Nyanza region.
Let me tell you, Nickson. In Kenya, where we are right now, most in Africa, Kenya to be specific, people do not vote because of projects. We are doing emotional politics every time. And that's what has led us here. It is emotional politics that made Ruto president. If people are voting based on proper analysis and the future of the country, Ruto could have not stepped anywhere close to State House. I'm telling you again, 200,000 votes is what made Ruto president against Raila Odinga. And over 700,000 people, registered voters, did not vote in Luo Nyanza. I'm not talking about Kisii and Nyamira. Luo Nyanza, Homa Bay, Migori, Siaya and Kisumu combined, over 700,000. If those people could have voted, Ruto could have not seen Raila anywhere. And 200,000 votes are votes of two constituencies. Kisumu Central, 100,000, 120. Kisumu West, where I come from, 80,000, 200, block, Ruto goes home. And those people did not vote. Now what tells you that Raila himself is out of the ballot? And he comes and says, Ruto tosha. Then a Luo Nyanza wakes up and goes and vote for Ruto. Because of a shipyard in Homa Bay? Because of taking Madaraka, my friend.
At the same time, Ken Babu, there's, you know, President William Ruto team, some of them have been claiming that they will look for votes. Even
Yeah,
if it is not enough,
Mm.
we are going to look for votes to fill this and to take over the power. What do you have to say?
That is a very, very retrogressive statement to come from a leader who has seen us as a country grow up from very black days, dark times of Moi. As we come over to where we are right now, for an elected person to stand and say that we are going to get those votes whether you like it or not, we must understand, and this laws must be informed. And that's why I'm saying Parliament is a crime scene. Because we have people who do not understand, they no longer understand why they were elected. Yeah, they think their election was subject to serving the president and not the people. Kamket is on record saying that. And if you go to where his constituency alone, there's a faction of majority saying that this guy must be a one term. The president must be one term in his constituency. So if leaders are comfortable by saying that we are going to get the votes, that is agitation to the people who are dissatisfied with the level of service delivered with the government. And that one might push the country in a very bad direction. And those that should be warned. Unfortunately, NCIC has not summoned them. That tells you how corrupt and, disillusioned government we're dealing with. NCIC has not summoned any of those guys to explain what they mean by what they were saying. None of them is summoned. But today, if I say here that Ruto must go, tomorrow I'm at NCIC. Why did you say he must go? The point is, Kenyans have got the final mandate. And vote, the polling station decides. Nickson, if today the elections were done and Ruto scores 20 votes in my polling station and you score 80, that is what will reflect at the Bomas of Kenya. In fact, going by that alone, we don't have to cause all that drama at Bomas of Kenya. Whatever we do, whatever we are always taken through at Bomas of Kenya is drama and nothing more of that, which is not necessary at all. What shall be counted at the polling station? That is the results. That is the outcome of the presidential election. So long as it is signed, that is it. And this time, let me tell you, the reason why I'm saying the young people are going to engage in these elections not only as participants, but stakeholders. We are coming to engage in these elections in three folds. Number one, as voters. Number two, as candidates. Number three, as also returning officers.
Okay.
It will be counted as we count. We shall announce ours even before they announce, because we are at the polling stations. As they count, remember I'm contesting, so as they count my votes, I also count the votes of the president in that trajectory. So that I know in my polling station or in my constituency or in my county, President Ruto, out of 100,000 votes, he scored 5,000 in that county, and that is what shall be. That is what must be reflected at Bomas of Kenya. So if we just see an error of an added zero, it stops at that point. So that is the plan. People, let me tell you, the truth is people are tired with this regime. That's the reality on the ground. Just walk outside and engage people. People are tired and people are willing to vote it out anytime, any day, anywhere.
And as we conclude, on opposition, there are various, people, flag bearers of various parties. Do you think at the end, maybe next year, we might see division in terms of agreement and someone to be a flag bearer?
Opposition is clear that our main agenda is the Kenyan people. And we are listening to the Kenyan people, and we are going to take much advice from the people, the citizens, the voters. Who are you comfortable voting at the ballot? Because our agenda is to take William Ruto home first before we do renovations in this country. We agree. There is a section of Kenya Kwanza mandarins who are saying that, the opposition do not have an agenda. They only talk about one term. We are talking about one term because he must step aside for us to get the space to renovate the nation. That's why as of now, our focus is to make him a one-term president. Then from there, we renovate. In fact, we don't even have to put a manifesto. Our manifesto is to renovate all the messes that he has done. That is restructure health system, restructure the education system, restructure the security, restructure the taxation. Get that? Those are our core mandate. the moment we take power. And we cannot do all that if President William Ruto still holds power. That's why agenda 1 of the opposition is 1 term. So when you hear Rigathi Gachagua saying 1 term, Kalonzo, Wamalwa, Natembeya, when they're saying 1 term,
Ken Babu.
don't ask questions. When you hear Ken Babu saying 1 term, we are saying that not as the main, not as the only agenda, but the main for now.
Okay.
Because any other thing that we must do can only happen minus the guy. Now on the flag bearer issue, we, like I said, we are listening to the people, and the leaders, the opposition leaders are consulting, and fortunately, they are also consulting with the youth league, because we also have our own opinions. We also feel that this person taken to the ballot, a good chunk of youth will vote him or her, and if you go this way, we will miss. So we are also consolidating. They are also consolidating. We shall put our report and we launch a candidate. You see the pressure that Kasongo and his team is giving us is so that we can launch our candidate. They start pushing missiles on him or her. We are also looking at it and we are aware. It's good that we, on their side, we know the opponent. On our side, we are playing our cards and we will reveal it at the right time. And it will not be a miss. Okay. It will be a candidate that will take William Ruto home at 6 a.m. The moment politicians are open, the guy is home.
As we conclude, final word to the Kenyan youths who feel they want to vie in 2027?
First, let me say that the youth, for the first time, I have seen the young people very much involved in political engagements, and I have seen the young people very much interested in understanding what's happening. And thanks to the Gen Zs, that when we went out to the streets, we gave a communication that it is no longer about the old guys. It is all inclusive, and we must be engaged. And of more importance, that should also worry President Ruto, is that out of 100,000 Gen Zs who are demonstrating in each and every part of this country, 80,000 of them were engaging in a political discourse for the first time. And their first political engagement was to say Ruto must go. I mean, they broke their political virginity by saying we don't want this guy. That should worry him the most. Because if that cannot worry him, then I don't know the kind of a man he is. People who have never participated in a political process, their first engagement is to say you must go. Then you have a big problem. So the young people who are going to run, please step up. Do not be cowed. Go into those political parties, declare your interest, and stand firm. Those men and women you are saying are legacy politicians. Those men and women you are saying are old. They're also waiting for you to come on board. Get that? They have not seed ground because you have not availed yourselves. So you are the person they are waiting for. Get out, join a political party, declare your interest, go into the ground, stand firm. If it's about nomination, you better lose it at the ballot. Go to that nomination, lose at the ballot. Who says that you must lose the nominations? You might think that you're going to lose it and you win it. So get out, join political parties, engage, fight from within. Life is difficult, but it does not reward the people on their bed. Sure. It is difficult, but it's not reward the men and women on the dance floor. Sure. So the youth must step up and go into the dance floor. Finally, I said, and I still want to repeat, I cash out my trip to come and join Rigathi Gachagua and the opposition to deal with Kasongo. And that is something we are committed, and tonight, Rigathi Gachagua will also be addressing the nation. Just to add on to what I've said, and put more icing, and punch more on the issues I've addressed here, just to give the nation the perception and the plan of the opposition. We must ensure that William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza goes in history as the first regime to serve for 1 term. Anyway, they can come back and know that's true.
And what if it is vice versa?
No, it cannot happen. At this time? At this point, I mean, do you think there's any part of this country that people still think that the Kenya Kwanza regime can resuscitate themselves? No, it cannot happen, bro. They have done more than enough. In the history of this country, we've not witnessed police brutality like what we saw. We've not witnessed extrajudicial killings like what we saw. We've not witnessed or experienced corruption of the caliber that we saw. We have not witnessed, opulence like what we've seen in this government. People are tired. Maybe you're not tired, but I can tell you, Kenyans are tired. And to surprise you, while outside the country, I had a meeting, I had a fortune to have a sit down with some few Kenyans in Germany. And they are all saying one term. And in fact, if the diaspora votes, as of now, the Kenya Kwanza regime cannot get anything. Because people in diaspora are also, they are much affected by the decision, policy decisions that are being made in this country. International relations, international affairs that are being meddled with in this country affects Kenyans in diaspora more than they affect people in this country. So diaspora and home, people are saying one term. And I said, I've given you a proper clarification on why we have to push a one-term agenda first. The guy must get out for us to do the renovation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for coming. Looking forward to have you once again.
Thank you so much.
In the next interviews and next conversations.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah.
Let's keep pushing.
True. So thank you. That is where we conclude our conversation together with Ken Babu. He is the chairman of the United Opposition. See you next time in the next interview. Bye-bye.